All right, welcome to the new year. We're in 2024, and we had a big break in the podcast, but to get it rolling with a short episode here, lead us off.
New year. A lot of big things like the old year wrapping up, the new year kicking off, and all that stuff. And 2023 was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I hear that so often from so many people, which is interesting because there was the COVID years, and I don't remember hearing that as much. And now 2023 somehow for some reason hit a lot of people hard.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that had a great 2023, but in my circles, it's predominantly like 2024. Like
Yeah, 2023 was super intense for me both ways. It ended very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the most fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't, in thinking about it, I don't think I've ever had a year the 2023 was, for me personally, the biggest year of events that I've ever gone through.
Wow.
And then it's the first year that I remember being on completely opposite ends of the spectrum, like from really, really bad to really, really good, and back and forth in a short time period too. Like everything come.
Yeah. I think it may have been my second most intense year in over 2 decades. Nothing will beat 2020 for me, but 2023 might have been number two.
Right.
So, what are we doing in 2024?
Not pressing the same buttons. That's what my plan is.
Okay. So how do we use karate to help? How do we get back on schedule here?
So for one, that's really great for that is 2023 was I did more karate in 2023 than I did in 2022, 2021, and most all of 2020 combined. And I wasn't here that much.
Well, in 2020, I did see you on Saturdays regularly.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, there was a while there, but
otherwise I wouldn't know you because that's when I met you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I think for me, like karate is always my reset balance point. It's like home base. Like when everything goes sideways, you go home. It's I wrote this whole thing out about karate has just always been there for me. Like even when I haven't been there for karate, like I've turned and walked away, and each time I come back, it's just there for me, and I learn something new about myself each time. And I had a therapist one time that explained to me that he got where he was checking in on my karate because he realized that there was a correlation between my karate and me in general.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, I felt real attacked, honestly. I was like, wow. He was like, well, think about it. You're not really going and doing karate right now.
It's like, what would you as a therapist say about your behavior?
Yeah. It was, but he pointed out that like if I'm not going to karate and I'm not doing it regularly, I start slipping on my other things. And karate takes time, effort, energy, and things like that. It takes a mental capacity, be it the physical activity and pushing yourself mentally, or the social aspect of it, interacting with different people. And
See, that's where I start from. If I don't have like some baseline of social interaction, I start shutting down historically.
Right.
And that's a big part of karate. I came back in 2019 because I started to slip kind of in life and the workouts I need, but I made karate was first. I wasn't going to go to the workouts. I was going to the people. Yeah. So it's not the people.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about it is it finds you wherever you're at. I think I said that in one of the original episodes about regardless of what shape you're in, like it'll meet you wherever you're at. But also like whatever you're needing out of it. Like for me, I needed at the time that I come back, I needed growth, comfort, and confidence. And in coming back to karate, I got growth. And as I kind of got back to what I was doing, I felt more like myself. I got comfort because all of the stuff that I could not articulate of how I was feeling inside, I can't I can't always say the words of how I'm feeling, but I can bounce and do a technique or something, and it just there's a weird connection for me. Um, and then this is especially like doing karate and then sitting and talking with you and kind of sharing and thoughts and philosophies and stories and things. Like it helped me get a lot of confidence back to where like I walk in the office now and I walk around and I just stand up and I do my thing and everything like that, and people compliment me, and I don't actually just think they're making fun of me, and I'm just not in on it, and that's always been something I've struggled with.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so like
I definitely brought some scars with me from the stretch of 2020 around like things happening in the background, behind my back, so to speak, roughly speaking, in that territory, and not being left out, which is not something I really had a problem with when I was younger. I was kind of the center of the geek social circle, I guess, growing up at our small school, and yeah.
I think it was very similar in a way because like my mom was always involved in everything, be it volunteer coordinator at the school, or also being where like she was super involved in karate. She helped in the office and we traveled to tournaments and everything. And then like because of that, like she was such a mothering personality that everybody kind of circled around her and me with proxy. And then I guess there's probably a deeper correlation to her not being here anymore. That I felt more isolated and alone, and just kind of like I remember when mom first passed. I even questioned like a couple people that I grew up with, like, are you just being nice to me because my mom was nice to you? And grief is a weird thing. But I forgot where I was going with it.
Yeah. Well, we're being in the office,
Right.
and
so she was always involved and she was always there, and just by her always being involved and always being there, it was like I knew the people around me mattered and I knew them very well, and almost for like intimately. I knew people intimately. I knew their likes and dislikes and how they were. And then all of a sudden, like, I just had this spell where I just had this thing where anytime I talked to anybody, I felt like they were making fun of me, and I didn't know it, I didn't get it, I wasn't in on the joke, and frustrations of not being understood.
Right. Yeah, it's so hard. I've had frustrations of worrying that I wasn't being understood, and then it can be hard to resolve those. And sometimes you realize that it was like you weren't being understood. Things were being left open on purpose because what it might lead to, if the person gave you the right answer, was bad. So it's
Right.
like you just end up having to walk away.
Yeah, I didn't having to figure stuff out.
So karate and status needs, I guess. Is that a reasonable framing?
Yeah.
Within karate, outside of karate, there's both. It can shore that up. I think you can fulfill multiple needs. The interpersonal needs on multiple levels.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. I noticed, and I started tracking it after my therapist had mentioned that. And I noticed directly if I'm working on new stuff when I'm sparring, I'm doing new stuff that I don't normally do. Be it like learning to cook a new meal and stuff like that. I've done a lot of that lately. I made these really awesome grapes. I know that's off topic, but they are amazing grapes.
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 Well, I didn't make the grapes, so I don't know the grapes. But
grapes.
yes, it's cotton candy grapes, lemon juice, lime juice, and sugar, and put them in the freezer. You have to put them in the freezer. but they have the texture of Sour Patch Kids, and they're cool, and they're very sweet. It's like candied grapes. It's amazing. Changed my mind.
Okay.
It made me be like, I can make this, and this is really good. So I can make other things too.
Don't apply my first rule of cooking. Did I buy it?
Yeah. Yeah, that would work as well.
No, really. Okay, so reasons to come back to karate: you fulfill a range of interpersonal needs. You know, community building. I've told multiple people. I think is a key in current year to like address more so than more so maybe than in the past. And you know, that's what people are looking for maybe now. I might be projecting. I'm not sure, but so how do we get there? Knowing that we want to do that, like scheduling is hard.
Yes. Yeah.
I bring this up for a reason.
Yeah, I'm in full formal business stuff,
Mhm.
and you're all worked out, attire. Yeah, the traffic was just crazy on the way home, and then I got home and cooked dinner, and just didn't make it.
So is your office days on Wednesdays?
It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
Normally it's not as bad, and that's what's frustrating about it is every time I've done, I'm a planner, I'm a strategy guy. I have to have all of my information,
I
everything.
tend to be a planner too.
Yeah, I have to have it all ready. So every trial run that I've done, I've been back by 6 every single time. I even got back in time yesterday to go to a friend's house and work with them on some karate for an hour by 6 o'clock. And it's a flip of the coin. Like, as soon as I do a test run and everything's great and I hit it consistently, the first time I need it is where it kind of Murphy's Law shows up.
Okay. So Mondays though. Monday should be good.
Yeah,
So Wednesdays.
Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays I'm at home. So Mondays I'll be here, unless there's like a school project or something big going on and stuff. Especially now that like the holidays are out of the way and everybody's coming back on that regular schedule. Yeah.
Okay. So we have reasons to be here, and we have ways to get here, scheduling, and I maybe that's where we want to leave it here. Give y'all something to think about. Say Happy New Year, and I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Oh, that was totally 13 minutes. Maybe we should keep going. All right.
Everything else comes out.
Yeah, we'll probably just do another interview before we get there. I don't want to get it.
That's fair. So I think the hardest part for me, like scheduling wise, is I've noticed that I'm the type of person, and this is what I'm trying to reframe and make sense. I'm the type of person that if I have a plan, and I do it with talking to, I script everything in my head, and you shouldn't deviate from the script that you don't know about, or I get frustrated and get lost. But that's a me thing. I'm working on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't script things. Like you can, and I do it. Like there's this line. One of my favorite things is start out line, and there's a line. I write everything down except what's on my mind.
Yeah. It's I'm getting better about it. I'm trying to remind myself bullet points, not complete sentences, and baby steps. But to me, like if I have everything planned out and one little thing goes sideways, it is so hard for me to get back on track. I feel like I'm stuck in the mud and all this other stuff. And I'm like, if I can,
But that's why we have the podcast, so I can be hey,
it worked the first time.
hey. We have an episode to film.
Yeah. This is oddly very similar to the first time we filmed here too, because I showed up and missed sparring and
Yeah.
we did it. Yeah. So maybe I'm about to film for a thing.
Okay, so here on Mondays and some Wednesdays, and what are your karate plans for the year beyond that?
So this is so exciting. I'm so excited about this.
I don't know.
So,
What are we
Um,
big reveal?
Kind of. Like I have a split level house, and the downstairs is a living room that was going to be a theater, that was an office, and it's back and forth and all this stuff. And it's getting kind of like cleaned out right now. So it's an empty room, and it's a concrete slab. We redid the floor, like pulled all the carpet and everything up. It's really great pad. Got some like hardwood stuff down there and all that. So, um, and I've got some karate mats. I've got 9 of them, like, or 12 of them because they're small. But I'm gonna put those up, and I've got a bag. I'm gonna put that down there, and then eventually I plan on getting enough to mat the whole floor because it's a perfect square. Like I've never seen a more perfect square room ever, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like we didn't have to cut anything on the floor or anything. It just like laid out. I was like, this is great. So I'm gonna mat the whole thing. And from what I'm seeing, looking at it now, you can get like 4 people down there sparring at a time.
So you said 12, you said 12 mats?
Yeah.
Not the squares. Not the squares we have, like in and on, unless
No.
those
Like,
are too small.
yes. Yeah. No, I have enough for like this area here with what I got. It's enough for like Jack and Lily to do karate beside each other, and I'm in front of it. You can like Jack and I can fight comfortably on it. So, but like you and I wouldn't be able to. There's too many angles. But it's a launching pad for now. And plus, it's a concrete slab, so I
We
can.
used to do that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Knees don't really like it as much these days, but you know,
Yeah.
push come to shove.
The Dad Studio of '96, I remember we were slipping and sliding.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess we went to those since somewhere.
Yeah, great for your pull kicks. Like you pick your leg up and you slap for it.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's gonna be my karate room, and I think that that's gonna help a lot as far as because like right now it's in the fall and stuff. Like when I first started coming back, it was a lot easier to go outside and practice, and now it's not. And setting the mats up inside is okay, and I don't mind setting up and tearing down. I'm not opposed to that. I've done a lot. But I don't like setting up the puzzle mats and the kids trying to do the edges and doing the mats with me and everything. And I'm like, no, please stop. Just let me, like, give me 2 minutes and I'll have this done. But puts together, it takes 15 and it's a circle somehow. But yeah, so my karate plans, I'm going to try to be here Mondays. I'm hoping that Wednesdays I can do that too. Um, I'm really hopeful. I hope today was just like a fluke, but definitely Mondays. The karate room at the house is going to make it a lot easier to do stuff when I'm not here too.
Occasional Thursdays, Scott's is been more regular. The adults, we call them the kickboxers are showing up. There's 4 or 5 of them.
Now, do y'all do Tuesdays as well?
Tuesdays and Thursdays. So for about 7:15, or maybe 45. Last night was like an hour.
Cool. Yeah, because I might could do that. Because even if I'm on like Tuesday at the office, I'm already in Greenville, and it's just straight down. I think it's 25 or Augusta Road or something, which is only like 1 exit down from where I'm at. So
It's a little over an hour.
yeah, hour from there,
Occasional.
hour and a half ish from here, right? Is it hour and a half from here?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I should be able to do that sometimes. Probably not consistently, but definitely better than this past Sunday. Was that Sunday?
That was Sunday. I think we had 8 people say they were at a show. We had a workout with 3 people, which well, it was like a 4th person for a few rounds. There was a whole thing happened.
Okay.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu people decided to move out like right before our workout schedule.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's the thing that happens.
Gotta love the adventure.
But yeah, like Scott's Martial Arts, for anyone who's seeing this at Greenwood, you should definitely come by. It's fun there.
So what about your karate plans for the year? What you got going on?
Oh wow, a lot maybe. Like I really resisted to turn my my personal Facebook page into like a karate hitting page. I really tried to keep that, but I'm thinking I might just like start friending people because I'm so slow to friend people. I almost never get friends, and yeah, so maybe I'll friend some more karate people. I don't know. I'm working on some code, but like I mean, there's this podcast, and then there's just wanting to be able to support the schools I participate in. And then I'm also working some code for like maybe a rating system. So yeah, a lot of things that I'd like to be able to go abroad and
Nice. Something like that would be fun. Doing like a karate RPG or something like that. It would also be cool if we could do like some kind of like Pokemon style karate where like you travel to tournaments and if you beat the guy you get to capture him and he's on your team then.
Hmm.
Like old school mentality, if I beat you, you have to join me.
Hmm. I remember, we'll give names here, but somebody not that long ago. So the problem these days is that everyone likes each other. We used to hate the other teams, the other schools. We hated the other schools.
It was so weird sometimes. That was a very big mentality of where like I started and come up in the original times. It was, you know, it was the whole you beat your what was it? You beat your acquaintances in the qualifier rounds. You beat your teammates in the semifinals, and you beat your friends in the finals. Like, but you have to understand that your friends are just those that go to your school, and then your teammates are those that are under the same brand of school, and then the acquaintances are all the other schools. Like it was very much like the cool thing for me as a fighter back in the like 90s was I remember fighting and not really knowing who I'm fighting and I'm a kid so the memory's a little skewed anyways, but I remember people around the ring just like showing up in the same color uniform as me and just chanting the school initials and stuff like that, and then looking over and see somebody with my same team or same school fighting in another ring and everybody goes over there and like just having that support of like your teammates felt good.
Mm. We had a team last year, and I was the only person to judge in every state circuit tournament last year, and that's frustrating. We actually had a team, and I wanted to like cheer for people, and I would get.
But sometimes you want to like that's it would be so frustrating to me a lot of times, and this was 10 years ago. I would really train, like actually put my actual effort into something, which was rare back then because I was just a kid, and then like actually train, actually do nutrition and diet, actually make my weight, actually sign up, and then there either wouldn't be anybody in my division, and I'd have to fight the division that I would have fought anyways, or um, which was almost worse. Like I go to a tournament and then I'm judging, and I look over and they're like, "Well, come on, your ring starting." And I'm like,
Now, that is the one point that I will say I absolutely dislike is if I'm expected to pay to compete and expected to judge. That's the point that I don't like. And the point where I can't get out of that, that makes me not want to go back to the tournament.
right,
And that's happened, a couple times in the last few years.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm not counting the schools I'm an active participant in necessarily. But like third party schools, you shouldn't compete for free if you judge.
yeah, you shouldn't have to pay somebody to work for them.
Yeah. All right, so we doubled our initial 13 minutes or 26 minutes. So I say we have a great episode and Happy New Year, and see you in a week or two.
And you're welcome that we had you this time. But thank you for having us.